One night in Paris, Driss takes his employer Philippe for a thrilling ride through the city, recklessly speeding past traffic and challenging the police to a daring bet. When the officers catch up, Driss ups the ante, wagering that he can secure an escort by feigning a medical emergency for Philippe. Despite initial skepticism, the police buy into the ruse upon finding a wheelchair in the vehicle and witnessing Philippe's dramatic acting. They offer assistance to the hospital, and Driss seals his victory with a celebratory song before swiftly evading further scrutiny. This escapade is just one chapter in the unconventional friendship between Driss and Philippe, which began when Driss unexpectedly barged into Philippe's life during a caretaker interview. Despite Driss's unorthodox approach and initial intentions to be rejected for unemployment benefits, Philippe finds him charming and invites him back, setting the stage for a unique bond to form between them. In Driss's bustling neighborhood, he struggles to find peace during a bath while juggling his younger siblings' interruptions. With the help of his responsible sister Mina, he barely manages to finish before their mother's return. Driss's suspicions rise when he spots his brother Adama exiting a suspicious car, only to be met with vague excuses. As night falls, Driss presents his mother with a stolen Fabergé egg, attempting to mask his 6-month absence with a false tale of vacation. Unimpressed and fed up with his lies, his mother rejects him, demanding he leave and not return, prioritizing her responsibilities to their siblings. Seeking solace with friends, Driss spends the night socializing before returning to Philippe's residence the next day. Welcomed warmly by the housekeeper Yvonne, he explores Philippe's daily routine and his allocated living space, complete with a private bathroom that particularly catches Driss's attention. Philippe surprises him with both a signed document and a job offer, initiating a 1-month trial. Reluctantly accepting, Driss begins to adapt to his new role, learning the intricacies of caring for Philippe, from assisting with bathing to managing his wheelchair, all while Philippe wagers on his ability to endure the challenge. As Driss adjusts to his role as Philippe's caregiver, he encounters new tasks like assisting with stockings and bathroom hygiene, reluctantly accepting them as part of his duties. Amidst this adaptation, his peaceful rooftop snack is interrupted by Philippe's daughter and her boyfriend seeking privacy, prompting Driss to assert his own boundaries. Despite initial hiccups, such as mishandling the phone and forgetting items during tasks, Driss quickly becomes adept at his responsibilities, including organizing mail and respecting privacy, showcasing his growing competence in his role. In his new role as Philippe's caregiver, Driss maintains a balance between responsibility and leisure. He chooses to keep materials related to female escorts rather than discarding them, injecting a touch of personal indulgence into his transformed lifestyle. Despite persistent but unsuccessful attempts to flirt with Magali, Driss occasionally indulges in the company of escorts, adding a hint of leisure to his routine. One morning, Yvonne discovers dangerous weapons in Driss's bag, but refrains from immediate comment. Despite Yvonne's disapproval, Driss opts for a luxurious car instead of a van for chauffeuring Philippe, leading to a faster and more exhilarating ride. Driss's assertiveness shines when he confronts a neighbor parked at the building's entrance, impressing Philippe, but drawing further disapproval from Yvonne. As their day unfolds, Philippe's relative expresses concerns about Driss's past, yet Philippe values Driss for his lack of pity and engaging personality. After yet another failed attempt to charm Magali, Driss shares dinner with Yvonne in the kitchen, while Philippe dictates a letter to her. Yvonne reveals that Philippe is corresponding with a woman named Eleanor, maintaining a secretive epistolary relationship. Their conversation shifts to love, with Driss teasing Yvonne about the gardener's admiration before retiring to bed. In the quiet of the night, Driss is alarmed by the sound of Philippe struggling to breathe through the baby monitor. Rushing to his aid, Driss comforts Philippe and takes him for a calming nighttime stroll along the river, showcasing his attentive care and willingness to provide comfort in moments of distress. Experiencing Paris at night, Philippe confides in Driss about his ongoing struggles with phantom pain and his inability to satisfy a woman due to his condition. Finding solace in small pleasures like ear massages, Philippe opens up further, recounting the heartbreak of multiple miscarriages and his wife's terminal illness, which led them to adopt Elisa. Despite once thriving in extreme sports until a paragliding accident left him wheelchair-bound, Philippe considers his true handicap to be living without his late wife. After completing his trial period, Philippe offers Driss a permanent position, but insists he return a stolen Fabergé egg, a cherished memento from his wife, symbolizing their 25 years together. The following day, Driss confronts his sister Mina about her resentment toward him, stemming from his neglect of her messages and involvement with the stolen egg investigation, which has drawn police attention to their home. Later, Driss learns of his brother Adama's drug-related troubles and offers support, though Adama declines, opting for further suspicious behavior. Meanwhile, Driss finds himself reluctantly participating in Philippe's correspondence with Eleanor, urging him to be more direct and initiating a phone call, sparking a newfound connection beyond written words. Their growing rapport leads to Philippe frequently conversing with Eleanor, even during their outing to the opera, where Driss finds humor in the extravagant costumes. The following day, Driss persuades Philippe to agree to exchange pictures with Eleanor, selecting one that features him in his wheelchair. While painting, Elisa abruptly enters Driss's room, requesting cigarettes and teasing him for his artistic attempts. Annoyed, Driss promptly kicks her out before consulting Philippe about changing the chosen picture to one from a time when he wasn't quadriplegic. Unbeknownst to them, Yvonne conceals the picture within the escort file just before Driss enters, complaining about Elisa and urging Philippe to discipline her, an opinion Yvonne concurs with. Philippe agrees to address the matter, but is surprised when Driss accidentally reveals his newfound passion for painting. As days pass, the friendship between Philippe and Driss flourishes. Driss introduces Philippe to snowplay and accompanies him on a run. Philippe gifts Driss his first suit and reprimands his daughter, with Driss eavesdropping through the baby monitor. Upon completing his inaugural painting, Driss eagerly shows it to Magali, who responds with a slap when he attempts to kiss her. Philippe appreciates the painting and assures Driss that he'll make an effort to sell it. Their camaraderie continues to thrive as they indulge in experiences such as upgrading to a faster car, sharing joints, and even hiring escorts together. When Philippe's birthday arrives, he expresses little excitement, citing the repetitive nature of the annual party where relatives check on his well-being. He anticipates it to be a mundane affair. While enjoying live classical music with the guests, Driss discovers Elisa in tears in her room, having taken some of Yvonne's pills that, fortunately, won't have fatal consequences. Elisa is upset about her recent breakup with Bastien, who insulted her. She asks Driss to talk to Bastien, and he agrees, negotiating a price. Simultaneously, Philippe showcases Driss's painting to a relative, persuading him to purchase it for 11,000 euros. Returning to the dining room, Driss converses with Yvonne, who discloses Magali's rocky relationship with someone named Fred, sparking hope in Driss. As the party winds down, Philippe introduces Driss to significant songs in classical music history, with Driss responding in a lighthearted manner. After the live music, Driss brings out his iPod and plays Boogie Wonderland by Earth, Wind & Fire, breaking into dance in the middle of the floor. His exceptional dancing skills convince the rest of the party to join in, creating an enjoyable spectacle that Philippe appreciates from his vantage point. Later, while preparing Philippe for bed, Driss opens Eleanor's latest letter, revealing her attractive photo and expressing a desire to meet during her upcoming visit to Paris. On the day of the planned date, Yvonne and Driss go through numerous outfit options for Philippe, striving to find the perfect one. Since Yvonne is accompanying Philippe to the date, Driss uses his day off to confront Bastien, pressuring him into apologizing to Eliza, delivering daily croissants, and fixing his hair. Afterward, Driss pays a visit to his mother's workplace, observing her from a distance. At the restaurant, Yvonne and Philippe patiently await Eleanor, who arrives significantly late. After an hour of waiting, Philippe decides to call Driss, asking him to take him away. Unbeknownst to them, Eleanor arrives just as Philippe is leaving. That night, Philippe takes Driss on his private plane, presenting him with the money from selling the painting, bringing immense joy to Driss. The following morning, they venture to the countryside, and Philippe decides to go paragliding, persuading Driss to join him. Initially resistant, Driss ends up enjoying the experience after overcoming his initial apprehensions. Upon their return home, Adama awaits Driss and is reprimanded upon noticing the scars on his face. Despite the scolding, Adama remains reticent about his own life. Driss decides to make him wait in his room while he calls Mina to reassure her, and then proceeds to put Philippe to bed. However, Philippe is not ready to sleep yet. After engaging Driss in discussing a painting, Philippe inquires about his family. Initially hesitant, Driss eventually opens up. It turns out Adama is not technically his brother, and the people he believed were his parents are, in reality, his aunt and uncle. They adopted him from Senegal when he was 8 due to their inability to conceive. His original name is Bakari Basari, but he was given the name Idris, which eventually became Driss. When his aunt miraculously conceived and his uncle passed away, more children and other men entered their lives. Drawing parallels with Driss's talk about Elisa, Philippe suggests that Adama needs discipline. Consequently, Philippe decides to terminate Driss's employment so he can be with his family, as he believes Driss can't spend his entire life taking care of an elderly man. The following morning, with Bastien delivering his daily croissant sporting a more refined hairdo, Driss prepares to leave. Magali bids him farewell, and in a surprising twist, introduces him to her significant other, Frederic, revealing that she is not interested in men. Driss abandons his attempt to flirt on the spot. While leaving the house, Driss returns the baby monitor to Yvonne and playfully teases her for misleading him about Magali. In return, she hands him the escort file he had initiated, leading to disappointment when he discovers the chosen picture is concealed within. Driss discards the file, but retains the photo for himself. Outside, he encounters another car blocking the entrance and requests it to be moved, asserting it's a matter of principle, even though he no longer works there. When Adama questions his actions, Driss stands firm. Later, the two brothers pick up their mother from the station. While back at the house, Philippe has dinner with his new caretaker, finding him dull and unappealing. Philippe decides to part ways with the caretaker without even sampling the meal, as Yvonne is absent, being on a date with the gardener. As days pass, Driss reverts to his previous lifestyle, reconnecting with old friends and intervening to stop the guys from the suspicious car bothering Adama. During a job interview where he lacks sufficient experience, Driss impresses the employer by branding himself as pragmatic and leveraging the art knowledge acquired while working for Philippe. This lands him a job as a driver. Philippe remains dissatisfied with his new caretaker, perpetually in a sour mood. One night, when he rejects assistance from anyone in the house for his phantom pain, Yvonne calls Driss, urging him to come over. This leads to the events recounted at the beginning, involving a chase by the police and subsequent escort to the hospital. After a calming trip to the coast, Driss assists Philippe with grooming his overgrown beard before accompanying him to a lunch outing. Though Driss doesn't stay, he returns Philippe's egg before leaving. Philippe's solitude is short-lived as his date arrives, turning out to be Eleanor, who is unfazed by Philippe's wheelchair. In reality, Count Philippe Pozzo de Borgo now resides in Morocco with his new family, while the real Driss, Abdel Yasmin Sayou, runs a successful business and enjoys family life. Despite their different paths, the enduring friendship between the two men remains strong to this day.